I want to welcome everyone to a place known as Remco Bolt. And I'm going to just kind of give a little bit of background here. This is an extremely unique and cool project for the city. And I want to say that because after you hear about this, I think you'll understand why. Sometimes magic happens and like different things come together at the right time. So firstly, a little bit about Remco Bolt. It's kind of a legendary old-timey bolt company that like my dad used to go to. And if you go in that building, there are still a bunch of bolts. And so that building's it's in tougher shape over there, but you know, it's just from a bygone era back when you had to have somebody with specialized bolts to fit whatever you need. So anyway, kind of a cool homage actually to this part of town and what it used to mean back in the 50s and 60s when it was the headquarters of all sorts of automotive repair and light industry. More recently, this particular building actually had hundreds of windshields in it. So when you ordered a windshield, it would actually come from here, like if you got it from Safelite. They all stored them here. But anyway, these companies all decided to retire, move on, different things, and this building became for sale. And what we decided to do was we didn't want it to be blighted. And so we thought the city should buy it. And this is a good example. We did not have a plan. Sometimes we don't. But we know we got to take the first step. And the first step was to buy this so that we could find a use that works. And so it took us a couple of years, but today what we're announcing is the future of Remco Bolt. And so what we're combining is our neighbors next door, challenges we have with homelessness, and also, I think most importantly in this case, a tremendous need for labor in our city. And in this case, plumbers and pipe fitters. So what a lot of folks don't know is that we have a wonderful apprenticeship program set up through our unions throughout New Mexico, but also in Albuquerque. And in this case specifically, UA Local 412, plumbers and pipe fitters and laborers. These folks are so busy, they need more space to train new folks to actually go out and work in our community. So that is what this is going to be. Today we're handing over the keys to Local 412, and this is now going to produce the next generation of plumbers and pipe fitters for all over New Mexico. And what's wonderful is that these programs, which is why they're so great for America and New Mexico and Albuquerque, these programs are accessible for folks from all walks of life. And that means they can even do some training work and so forth for individuals experiencing homelessness next door. So there's a wonderful collaborative opportunity here, because what do we always say, that old-fashioned, which is kind of not always appropriate, but it's like, you know, well, why can't they just get a job, right? I mean, look, I know people say that, and we all know why. There's a lot of reasons, but one reason is because they don't have access to training, and now it'll be right next door. So we're going to talk a little bit more of this, but we're announcing this partnership. We're leasing this to 412.
Received a tax abatement incentive to build a 3-story, 96-unit multifamily building at Adams and Central, and the Somos
is going to be actually fixing up this building and the one next door. And also there's wonderful sort of exits for both of us if we eventually decide to do something else with this property or with our neighbors next door. So in the short term, we know this is a great thing. The last thing I want to touch on, all of this is possible because of other things that are happening in America. We have some representatives here from our federal offices. A lot of the funding and a lot of the demand for this work is being driven by the Infrastructure Reduction Act. So we appreciate our federal, our congresswomen and our senators for supporting that, in the CHIPS Act, because they're driving the need for the workforce. And so we've got to supply it. And part of that means we got to have buildings to train apprentices. And so that's where the city comes in this partnership. And so we appreciate all that's gone into this, because this actually is a reflection of like 4 different trends in America that are colliding right here at Remco Bolt. And so we're excited about the future of this. And with more on it, let's begin with a little bit from our representatives from 412. Yeah, you can go ahead, you can say your name and whatnot, okay, so they all know.
Okay. My name is Joan Baker. I am the Director of Outreach and Engagement with Local 412. We at the United Association Local 412 train and represent plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC technicians here in New Mexico. Our union prides itself on providing our members and the broader community with great jobs, great careers, and great training. There's recent growth in the construction industry and demand for apprenticeship. We found ourselves in need and lacking space. With the demand created from the bipartisan infrastructure law, the CHIPS Act, and the Inflation Reduction Act, all of which our congressional delegation supported the demand for apprenticeship in those federal pieces of legislation. We found ourselves needing more space to fill that demand for skilled labor. Mayor Keller answered that call. Mayor Keller has always been a strong advocate for labor and the working people of Albuquerque, ensuring the Albuquerque projects uphold good labor standards through the project labor agreement. Partnerships are one of the biggest assets we have to uplift our community. The best thing we have is to come together for the common good. As part of this lease, Local 412 will be providing training to people of this community. Our apprenticeship readiness program is designed to reach into the most underserved parts of our community and provide pathways out of poverty. Once this program is completed, the person will become an apprentice with a half a year credit, a step up in salary, and a career for a lifetime. We will be renovating this space to train 100 first-year apprentices with both classroom and hands-on experiences. We will train in heat pump system technology as designated in the Inflation Reduction Act and other journeyman courses to keep our workforce up to date on the changing needs and technology in this industry. We look forward to strengthening our partnership with the city and providing great careers and gold standard training in this space for years to come. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Now, with a little bit more on this, let's hear from our Director of Triple H, Health, Housing, and Homelessness, Carol Pierce.
Thank you, Mayor. I think, Joan, you said it all. It is about the partnership, and it's about the partnership with the Plumbers Union and the city, but it's also about the partnership we have here in the city, and I'm delighted that Leon Dixon, the new CEO of HopeWorks, is here, and Jenny Metzler, the CEO of Albuquerque Healthcare for the Homeless. So they're neighbors. They'll be neighbors to the Remco building and to this project. So we're very excited how we can work with our vulnerable populations to give them that pathway forward, working with the Plumbers Union. So go partnerships, that's what this is all about. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's clap for Carol. I mean, she's got 2 weeks left. Come on. Give her an applause. All right, listen, Will, I think what we're going to do now is we can take some questions if folks have them, but I think we want to have a kind of a fun handing off of the keys. And really appreciate it. I just want to acknowledge, too, HopeWorks and Healthcare for the Homeless. Thank you for being here. And lastly, I would just say, there's a lot of things when you take on a job like the one I've got that, you're surprised about in bad ways. There's also good surprises. No one saw this coming. And so I remember bumping into the plumbers and pipefitters, and they were like, we need a building. And I was like, well, we have this old building. And, and then they were the ones who were like, we want it. So thank you for not giving up on this project. We really appreciate it. All right, so let's gather around here. How do you want to organize this, Katie? Maybe around here?
Okay.
Okay. We can have that seal there, and I'll hand the keys to you. So scoot closer and bunch. Yeah, tall guys in the back. I know we got a few there. So wait, scoot around the center. And then I have to get the little tag right. I've never done a key handoff. This is a fun little.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a lot of keys.
Yeah. We'll talk about the actual keys in a minute.
So is that the key to the city?
Yeah, I was going to say, they actually don't work on the door.
Okay.
All right, so anyway, let's look at the picture there. All right, well, enjoy them for a minute. Good job. Awesome. Well, congratulations, you guys. Thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you.
So,
If you want to see more of the building, they're all open.
Oh.
You can
Yeah,
pick up a
and
random
actually, look,
bolt.
if you're into like buildings and stuff, totally go in a Remco bolt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
The
we
bolts
worked
are
on that.
upstairs.
Yes.
And it has this executive office, but like from the 80s for a bolt guy. So it's like tacky wood paneling, smells like cigarettes. It's awesome. This reminds me of my dad.
Yeah.